Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm going to show you tonight is its beginning. The fallout of the decision from the SCOTUS today to basically say, hey, ATF, you can't do what you did with bump stocks through executive bureaucratic overreach. It's happening on MSNBC. Everything that I'm about to show you is linked right down there in the description box. And of course, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. This is something that we have been striving for on this channel for 3 years, fighting back the tyranny because we can do it. We're fighting it together, and we are winning. Keep it going. All right, beautiful people, listen. First, I'm just going to show you what FPC posted, and I love absolutely with my whole heart. Basically, the Grim Reaper going from the ATF pistol brace rule to the ATF bump stock rule, now knocking on the assault weapons ban door. It's very succinct and very accurate because we are knocking their stuff down left and right. The machines of freedom is fully rolling, and it is delicious because we are getting reactions like what I'm about to show you from the head of Giffords.org. Now, this is on MSNBC. Not only are you going to see the freak out and the complete lies that they're telling on this network about this decision, they're also going to show you and tip their hand. Check this out. We're going to get into it. I got 3 clips. You're going to want to see every second of it. Let's go.
Setback is this for your efforts for gun violence prevention?
Well, so let's just start with the basic fact that the vast majority of Americans don't support bump stocks, right? We have seen that a ban on bump stocks has 85% support across the board. And I think it's really important to talk about what happened today in really plain terms. You know, what happened today is that the Supreme Court has essentially legalized machine guns in this country. And if that sounds insane and unbelievable, it's because it is. A bump stock is a device that converts a semi-automatic rifle, where you have to pull the trigger each time you want to fire, into a rifle where you can just hold down the trigger and you can fire 400 to 800 rounds a minute. And as folks have pointed out on the show this morning, you know, bump stocks were used by the Las Vegas shooter to kill 60 people and hit 400 others in a span of just 11 minutes. And after that shooting, we banned bump stocks in this country. You know, we took an action that was critical for protecting public safety. And today you've seen the Supreme Court roll that back.
Because it was unconstitutional. Now, she's going down a road and you're watching the emotional reaction. They are trying to gin up emotional response. Essentially a machine gun. Now, that language is very familiar because the ATF Solicitor General was arguing the same thing. Essentially, it's a machine gun. It's not a machine gun, but essentially it could be. And it can fire up to 400, 800 rounds a minute. So can standard firearms. They're not telling you any of these things. A lot of it is all manipulation. Now, she's calling into question very important pieces around the SCOTUS. And again, we're going to walk through this entire thing because it's going in a direction. They're tipping their hand. You're seeing the direction they're going. And it's all about a way crazy, insane, out of control Supreme Court, which is only interpreting existing law. But because they don't like that existing law and it's essentially a machine gun, they're now out of step with the normal population, hence the polling numbers that she's going after. This is very important, but even the MSNBC anchor is going, yeah, you're kind of dead in the water because the rest of the things that they've done through the ATF are also underneath suspicion in the exact same way. Let me jump to the second clip because, guys, this is where the meat lies, seeing what they're saying and determining what they're doing next so we can get in front of them. Check this out. This is the second one. Here we go.
So what do you do now?
Well, what we need to see is congressional action, right? As I said, this is not a controversial issue. We're talking about automatic weapons. We're talking about military-grade weapons, right? You know, machine guns were developed for the American military. They have been outlawed in this country for decades. I think that's important to know. You know, we have been regulating machine guns since the 1930s, right? These are military-style weapons. And so what we need to see is bipartisan congressional action to ban bump stocks immediately. And I think if you're thinking about this fall and you're thinking about the election, you know, this is an incredibly impactful moment where Americans will see very clearly who supports public safety and who supports the gun lobby and the gun manufacturers.
All right. Incredibly important point. Understand what we're talking about right now is literally what's about to happen. We've been dead on target pretty accurately over the last 3 to 4 years. They're hoping that this is going to turn the poll numbers around the extremely rogue Supreme Court in the exact same way that it did against abortion against the Supreme Court before the 2022 midterms. That's why the calls for bipartisan action to ban bump stocks in the legislature, even though it was just ruled unconstitutional. The entire thing is a pressure play to help Biden go forward. Everything that you're seeing, it's going to go from insane amounts of fear, extreme amounts of concern, but we can always make this happen in Congress and really rein in that Supreme Court. They're going to try to adjust and manipulate from where it's at in the Supreme Court taking an L into Congress and getting more seats and potentially basically rallying the base to get Biden reelected. Everything that you're seeing has the exact same shades of what happened when the Roe v. Wade ruling got overturned. Everything. From the players, from the actors, from the organization groups, they are trying to bring this from like number 9 on the importance list all the way up to number 1, because that is what's going to animate their base. Fear and emotion. It doesn't matter that you're lying completely, because these are not automatics, and it doesn't matter. I don't even care. I don't like bump stocks anyway. The point is the ATF overreach through the executive bureaucracies. All right. And now, this last one, because guys, I'm telling you, this is important stuff to read where they're going. Last one, third one.
So this obviously takes away the federal regulation that had been established by the ATF. But what about state level laws? Do you see a path forward in that direction?
We do. And I will say, I'm the executive director of Giffords. Over the last 10 years, we have been able to pass over 600 state gun safety laws, which have strengthened gun safety in a variety of places across this country. And so, yes, we see that in the absence of federal action, in the absence of Congress taking action that would protect the American people, there's a lot that states can do. I'm sitting in Chicago this morning. Illinois has a ban on bump stocks, right? Every state is able to ban bump stocks if it chose to. And certainly, I think that if state leadership, state governments are watching the Supreme Court decision this morning and they're horrified, there is something that we can do. But more broadly, we need to see bipartisan congressional action immediately to ban bump stocks in the House and in the Senate, which is something that the vast majority of American people, in addition, including Republicans, have been really clear that they want.
See that? Even Republicans want it, guys. So we're not only crazy. Republicans and Democrats want it. It's a rogue Supreme Court. Congressional action is the only way to really move forward. But we can also do state-level legislation. Do you see what's happening? They're trying to throw support underneath their followers, who they lied to for so many years, as this being perfectly constitutional. Throw pillows underneath them and then say, but look, don't give up on us. We didn't lie to you. We didn't mislead you. We're just going to try different things now. So we've got to get congressional support. Oh, by the way, there's an election in November in 5 months. Remember this then. Guys, what you are watching is a political spin machine that just got turned on, and this is just the beginning. Everything that we're showing you is being fueled by lies and emotion, and they're going to try to use it to spin Biden further back into the White House, even though there's a few other issues, mainly cognitive, that are going to be a bit of a problem. And he overstepped his bounds, and he just got smoked on it. Everything I've got for you is linked right down in the description box. Of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and thank you so much for watching this week, as it has been crazy. And boy, what a nice way to end it. See you on the next one.